I know I haven't made a video in a few days, but let me tell you why. Before I get into this, you've seen it. So, Manhattan. Been a while since I've seen that. So it's not because I haven't been getting plant shipments, because I pretty much have been getting a bunch every single day, and I recorded 2 videos worth over a course of a couple days, and when I was putting the videos together, something went wrong with the editing software because I lost everything, and I pretty much had to take a break away from it because it was a little stressful to think that I put all these hours into editing videos and it was just gone. It's just gone. And I just need to go on a little bit of a rant for just a second. So some of you may or may not know, but I have fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain disorder. I look totally fine on the outside, but I have flare-ups sometimes and my whole body is in pain. So it's basically my brain going, hey, did you know that everything hurts? And then I have to just try to pretend to function like a normal human being. So to keep my mind off of things, I just buy more plants, or I go around and I take care of my plants. And that's kind of like my happy place is plants, which is probably for a lot of people. It's very relaxing and cathartic to just take care of them and watch them grow and thrive. I mean, that's also the reason why I've been getting a lot of plant orders. But the main reason is because I have discovered plant purge pages, which is dangerous. So don't look into those if you want to save money, because it's kind of the place you go to get a ton of plants for really good prices, and it's a little bit too easy to spend a ton of money and then say, I'm not going to buy any plants. Maybe I'll take a peek. Let me just take a little peek at the site and see what's going on, and boom, 10 plants later. Oh, and by the way, one of the past videos I made where I got my Hoya carnosa that was supposed to be the Crimson Queen, checking around on the plant pages, I posted the pictures of those and asked around, and apparently I was lied to. So the sunlight can take a variegation in the Hoya and make it a little bit more pink if you already have a white leaf. It is something that's genetic in them that they will put out that variegation, but having a completely green plant, keeping it in the sunlight, does not add to the variegation at all. It either has it or it doesn't. So I reached out to the seller to bring that up because she had told me that all I have to do is put it in the sunlight and it'll change. So I'm really glad that I asked around, because I probably would have been pretty disappointed and feel like I was doing something wrong looking at the plant and waiting for it to change when it's never going to change. But there's that. Either way, since I can't get those other videos back, I am going to just give you a little mini tour of the little plant corners of my apartment so you can kind of see how much it's grown with all the different plants that I've gotten. And then we'll go straight to the 2 plants that I got today. from your tour. Definitely not checking plant purges right now. Alright, so I've been a lot better about keeping track of what's getting sent to me. PayPal has hooked up with the USPS, so they actually start tracking what ones are being delivered. So I'll get a lot of notifications saying, hey, this plant was delivered, or such and such package was delivered, and I can actually open up the PayPal app and see what it was that I actually bought. But this one is from the Boho Botanic Garden. This was actually a purge bin, so I'm excited to see how this turns out. And I've been buying quite a bit of plants that start out small, but they're not going to end up small. I will figure out the space situation when I get there. This is actually very easily packed, which means I can take it right out and show you guys. I hope. Unless it's taped to a bunch of bubble wrap, which it might be. Ready? Check it out. This is the tiny little baby. This is a variegated elephant leaf, or a colocasia. So a lot of times you see colocasias, they're those leaves that are humongous. There are versions that are smaller. I have a black velvet leaf alocasia that is considered an elephant ear, but they stay on the little bit smaller side. This one is going to be pretty big, but right now it's a tiny little baby. It's probably under a little bit of stress from traveling, so I'm going to end up putting it in my sphagnum moss propagation bin, which is brand new, and I will show you guys in just a second what that looks like. That's what I put my clippings in, and sometimes brand new sensitive plants to just kind of recoup, get some light, get some moisture back into them. But it looks great, and there's so much white on him. Don't see ones that have this much white. I mean, it's got a little bit of damage on his leaves, but I mean, it's gorgeous. And the thing is with these plants that have a lot of variegations, if they have too much white and not enough green, it can be a little bit more of a challenge. You want to put them in as much sunlight as you can, because without that green, that's where that chlorophyll is. There's no way for them to be able to absorb what they need from the sunlight if there isn't any chlorophyll in the leaf to be able to do so. But at least there's a little bit there, and I'll just make sure that it gets a little bit of extra light. But here you have it. This is my variegated colocasia, or elephant ear. Ready for the next one? Alright, so this one is from my happy plants, which I actually have a few different plants from my happy plants, which is my Scindapsus pictus and two different ferns from them, which you probably saw over my liquor cabinet during the little tour session. So this one is another one that I got from them. This would be my fourth plant. And they've always been absolutely beautiful, great shape, and she's very quick about getting the shipment to me. And always very nicely packaged as well. No packages. I will tell you when points with me if there's no packages. So I have my Scindapsus pictus argyraeus? Argyraeus? Either way, and I have a couple of those, and I have a clipping of a Scindapsus trubii moonlight that's actually in my propagation box right now, and I'm waiting on an exotica to come my way, which hasn't shipped yet, but this one is a Scindapsus pictus silvery Ann. So let me take this out of the bag, put it out of the bag a bit so you can see the difference between this one. I'll have to grab one of my regular Scindapsus pictus so you can see. But there she is. How gorgeous is she? can see all the little, I wish you could see this better in the camera, but they have a little bit more of that silver flecking. Some leaves might actually be mostly silver, but this one in particular is so silver. It's so shiny. I love my silver plants. But let me go grab my other one so you can kind of see the difference between what a silvery Ann looks like versus just a regular Scindapsus pictus. Oh, look at this leaf. I love it. It's almost like, and when you look up really close, it's almost like paintbrush strokes of silver. All right, so this big boy is my regular Scindapsus pictus. Really gorgeous, he's huge. He's so big and he's happy. But if you see the leaves, there's silver flecking that's on them, but it's all kind of normal, even patterning. Versus when you take a look at the silvery Ann, don't fall over, buddy. When you take a look at the silvery Ann, the patterns are kind of all over the place when you take a look at where the silver ends up. Which, for some of you people who are probably not huge plant people, you're probably like, oh, I see that big of a difference, Ann. But the fact that there is a lot more silver on these leaves, and that I like to just collect pothos and Scindapsus and philodendron and all those fun things. So here you go, there's my silvery Ann. I'm so excited. As promised, here's my propagation box. I have sphagnum moss in here. That glass of water keeps everything nice and moist, kind of like a greenhouse. Right there is my Syngonium albo. That little bit fell off of my silvery Ann, so I stuck her in there. I have a little mojito, which I don't even know if he's gonna make it. He lost like 2 of his leaves when he got here, so I'm really hoping he'll come around. But I have some rickrack cactus and carrion cactus. There is my moonlight trubii. How gorgeous is that? That one's better root, I swear. And this is actually my Nepenthes. So my Nepenthes started getting really, really huge, and this piece was just kind of hanging over the side. So he got a haircut today, and this part of it was clipped off, and I'm hoping to root him into another plant. But here's my prop box. There you go. 2 unboxings. I have like a bunch more plants that are just plugged up in the pipes that are just going to just come pouring out. So I'll have more unboxing videos to do, and hopefully I won't lose any of that stuff. But I'm gonna get these guys in some proper pots to be able to just kind of bounce back and rest. And you guys got to see the plants around my apartment. Not all of them, but you got to see most of them. But I'll see you guys the next time that I have a package coming, which is probably going to be tomorrow. Let's be honest, it's pretty much every day. I have a clue. Speaking of which, I need to check on this plant purchase. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane.